uh, this has been a few weeks ago, and had a good time actually. Supposed to go out there and see, had some business to do, and found an event going on at Pastor Troy. You guys can hear the sound. Give me a second. Go ahead and share the right thing. All right. Fair use. Fair use.
Yeah, Joe, Chatham County Marine Patrol says that they recovered a body that was seen in the Savannah River right around 8:30 this morning. Now, they recovered it on the Hutchinson Island side, so you can see it across the river from me
Fair
right
use. This
there.
is for
That's where they
educational
found
and
it and recovered it.
entertainment
Soon
purposes only.
after, firefighters and police with both the city and the county arrived at Savannah's U.S. Army Corps of Engineers building. And I also saw the Chatham County coroner's vehicle arrive here to determine who this person is, and investigators are still trying to figure out what led up to this happening. Now, not much else is available right now. I'm in contact with Savannah PD, who is the lead on this case, and we'll have more as this continues. We'll keep you up to date with the latest. In Savannah, Cam McCann, WTOC News.
Thank you for that recap from WTOC News. Tragic that a man lost his life. Not sure what that's about. I'm sure the streets are talking. Of course, this show is brought to you by the Chad Mance Law Firm. We are the Chad Mance Law Firm is for the community. Go ahead and give them a call if you find yourself in an accident or some other unexpected event. Let the Mance Firm help you out and guide you through the legal battle that's ahead of you. Alrighty, yeah, man. So, excuse me. Coming up next. Let's see what we got next. Um, yeah, man. All right. Coming up next. Hey, it says Georgia is now sixth in U.S. undocumented population. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. About an hour ago, we got some stuff that's kind of juicy. About an hour ago, it was reported that a heavy police presence is reported on Thursday night near the intersection of Abercorn and Deerfield Road. WSAV has a crew on scene. We'll update the story as more details become available. Definitely call in. Call in if you need that and Deerfield Road. All right. Yeah, like I said, last was in Savannah. I was supposed to see Pastor Troy. Pastor Troy never showed up. I felt some kind of way about that, man. But I had a good time. Can't remember exactly where I was, but I know how I got there. I was there for business, and I knew that homecoming was going on. And the folks I know from Savannah State were not answering the phone. Still haven't, by the way. And yeah, man, I saw a police officer at the gas station. He was looking at me. I was looking at him. I was like, I'm gonna make him run this paycheck today. I said, sir, I know you know. Where the hell's that? No, I didn't really say that. I said, where are the parties this evening? And this guy pulled out a website with all the parties. And I found myself at the Pastor Troy party. And I wanted to see Pastor Troy to have a conversation with him about something that someone who we know in common. He never showed up, but I had a good time. There's a DJ there in the back that's like on point, you know, the party away from the party. It was a good time. Give me a second here. I want to find us another story to talk about. It's local to Savannah. Man, talking about people passing away in fires. No. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Savannah hemp shops could lose 95% of their products under the new federal bill. Let's see what they're talking about here. Let me mute myself.
A federal bill could force hemp shops across the country to pull most of their products. And here in Savannah, some shops say that puts their business in jeopardy. The plan limits what counts as legal hemp, meaning several popular items could soon be off limits. WJCL 22 News' Tia Maggio is live tonight outside a Savannah
Fair
hemp
use, we're
store.
educating the
And Tia, owners
populations
say this
about
move could
their
gut
local
their
news.
business.
So fair use.
Yeah, Shannon, that's right. The general manager of this hemp dispensary behind me tells me that 95% of what's currently on their shelves could completely disappear if this bill were to pass. And we're talking everything from gummies to edibles to oils. Really think these customers are walking in every day for. And he says, while the federal government is trying to close loopholes with this, he says here in Savannah, it seems like they're trying to close down businesses.
Have something like this slipped in last minute is really a stab in the back, not just to companies like me, but to voters across the United States.
That's what hemp shop general manager Andy Westcott had to say about a federal plan that could eliminate 95% of hemp products nationwide. The change is buried inside the bill that reopened the government. The plan caps total THC at just 0.4 milligrams per container, including Delta 8, Delta 10, HHC, and THCA. And that number is nowhere near what's in most hemp products sold today.
So we're talking about being essentially regulated out of existence.
Backers argue it fixes a farm bill loophole that let THC-heavy hemp products hit the market unregulated. The newest change comes after Georgia hemp businesses were hit with new restrictions last year.
We've had, a lot of CBD and hemp dispensaries in the last year closed already with the last round of legislation. So it's already been a tense market, but with this fresh round, it's looking like it may just kill the entire industry.
The U.S. Hemp Roundtable says this
That guy really
ban
needs to
nukes
brush
a
his teeth.
$28.4 billion industry and could
Cleaning
wipe
or
out
something,
more than 300,000 jobs.
I'm either going to have to find a new line of work or I won't be able to stay here in Georgia anymore.
Westcott
Man.
says this won't only hurt businesses, but customers too.
There are a lot of folks who come in here to get things like pain relief or arthritis relief, kind of rely on it to avoid what are ultimately incredibly expensive drugs, pharmaceutical drugs.
Facts. I get it.
If this were to become law,
yeah, man.
enforcement.
How many of you guys out there are regular users of the hemp products that are on the shelves? If so, my grandmother, she often would have me go to the store and buy her little hemp products for her pain. Yeah, man. That was back in the day. But yeah, man, I had a great time in Savannah when I went. Every time I go to Savannah, it's usually a pretty good time. I went to these hotel bars. I'm gonna start calling them out by name sooner or later. But terrible time. I was there, my young black self, sitting at the bar. I ordered some food, and basically, the guy let my food sit in the counter until it got cold, and then handed it to me. I had to politely let him know I'm not paying for that. You might as well go ahead and take that back and run on my check, buddy. Do not take any disrespect from these people in these restaurants. Not when they're adding gratuity before you even get started. But yeah, man, they're saying this hemp is going to take out 95% of the stuff on the shelves there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, let's see what else is going on Fox 28. We're not going to talk about the Epstein files because, a matter of fact, why not? Why not? The Epstein files. Let's see what the Epstein files are talking about. So Donald Trump decided to release, the president, I should say, decided to release Epstein files after months, I think it was, of delaying it, but with calls from both parties. It was an American bill that they sent to the president's desk that he signed. So that is very interesting to see. I'm sure, though, in the background that there are people that are protecting national security and, the office of the president as they take a look at those documents and find what will ultimately be released to the public. I'm very interested to see if we can find someone who would. Never mind. I won't say that. But yeah, man, I'm sure everyone wants to see what's in those files. Leave it at that. Yeah. All right. So the president announced that he signed the bill in a lengthy Truth Social post on Wednesday night. He said, again, this is from Fox 28. He says, "I've just signed the bill to release the Epstein files!" Exclamation point. Trump wrote on Truth Social. As everyone knows, I asked Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and the Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass the bill in the House and Senate, respectively. Because of this request, the votes were almost unanimous in favor of passage. In the post, he said that the Biden administration did not turn over a single file or page related to Democrat Epstein, nor did they even speak about him. He also took credit for the bill to release the files, which passed Congress overwhelmingly. This comes after the bill, dubbed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, swiftly passed Congress on Tuesday evening. The House voted 427 to 1 to pass the bill. Only one lawmaker out of Louisiana voted against it. His name is Clay Higgins. All right. So Senator Higgins decided he was not for releasing these files. Although there were speculations that Mike Johnson would make changes such as amendments to the bills to clear Congress as is. The bill is a command for the president to be fully transparent, to come fully clean, and provide full honesty to the American people. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer of New York said Wednesday. So Chuck Schumer, who's on the other side of the aisle, is making this a come clean moment for Donald Trump. I won't say I don't know why he's doing that, but we've had innuendos and some references to, but I don't think there's anything solid that they found on Donald Trump, because I feel like if they had found something solid, we would have heard about it and it'd be under discussion. But the fact that this guy's been unalived, for years now at this point, I think, right? He passed years ago. Why don't we know more about the president? The president's what do you call it? Role in this. The other names that are on the list: Democrat, Republican, Independent. So, just to be clear, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't really like those labels for our politicians. I'm an independent. I spent some time in a little city here in Atlanta called Roswell, Georgia, where local politicians run as independents and they win. So, people will tell you, oh, if you run as independent, you can't win. Right? That's not true. And then when you stick them on that, they say, well, they don't win national elections. I would dare say that when Donald Trump ran as a Republican after being a Democrat, he was playing an independent game. And as we can see in the way that he operates his office in the country, he doesn't really ascribe to the clear-cut paths that have existed previously in this country. So yeah, very interesting stuff going on here in the American politic. All right, so question is, when will the files be released? It's unclear exactly when the files will be released. Hint. Oh dang, what happened here? It's unclear. Looks like my page decided to go left here. And now I can't scroll on it anymore. See what happens when I refresh it. Look at that, it works. All right. So it's unclear exactly when the files will be released. The bill directs the Attorney General to make all the unclassified documents related to Epstein and his associates, Ghislaine Maxwell, publicly available within 30 days of it being signed into law. So, according to the law, we've got 30 days. So, when they say it's unclear exactly when the files will be released, that's not true. You know, something that I really wish we could get done in the American media is them being honest with themselves when they write stuff down. It's clear in black and white. So it says it's unclear exactly when the files will be released. Literally, the next sentence makes it very clear exactly when the files will be released. And that's exactly within the next 30 days. I'm trying to figure out sometimes, like, are these people, do people think that we're dumb? I mean, a lot of us are dumb. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of Americans are dumb. We try. I think we try to do the best that we have with the resources that we have, but a lot of Americans are actually not that intelligent. It just is what it is. They're not intellectually curious, unfortunately. You know, if you get a bunch of people in the room, let's say we get 5 people in a single room, we all start talking. Within about 5 to 10 minutes, if not less time, we will know who the stupid person is. You know, it is what it is anyway. So yeah, in about 30 days, we'll know what the Epstein files include. They have 30 days to sanitize it. Mind you, let's not forget that the president met with some folks in Congress and his attorney general. Like I said, in the situation room, which indicates that something in those files has something to do with national security. You don't have to be in a skiff to talk about it. That's another story. But yeah, redactions can be made to the document to protect the identities of the victims. All right. All right. So, furthermore, Epstein was deemed to have died by suicide in his jail cell going on 6 years ago. The bill would trigger the release of the information related to his death, which has been under scrutiny by those who urged the files to be released. Attorney General Pam Bondi told reporters on Wednesday she would only comply. Oh, excuse me. She would comply with the law when it comes to the release. Quote, "We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims," Bondi said in a news conference on Wednesday when asked about releasing the files. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really wish we would look more into the media and like what they say, because a lot of times what they say is untrue. You have to kind of weave your way through this to really figure out what's going on. So Pam Bondi is saying that she's going to protect the victims. Okay. All right. Interesting. We'll see how that works. However, the bill allows the Justice Department to hold on to any information that would get in the way of any investigations or prosecutions. See that? That's a trick bag right there. It's a trick bag. Because basically, why I say it's a trick bag is because what that means is that if there is information in there that could, excuse me, that could damage the integrity of our government, and by that I mean the office of the president, something that denigrates members of Congress, people on the Supreme Court, etc. People may have committed crimes that this information is related to, and they'll just, in times past, we've seen where they'll hold on to information and then dismiss the case at the end. Then we don't get the information until after the fact. All right. Anyway, now I've never been one to say this, that I was a big fan of my representative here in North Georgia, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who publicly broke with Trump over the release of the files, remains cautious about how the Department of Justice will handle the release. She says the real test will be, will the Department of Justice release the files, or will it all remain tied up in the investigation? Pretty much what I just said, right? Much of the charge around releasing the files deals with naming those who are accused. Representative Thomas Massey, who co-sponsored the bill, wants to read the names of those who are accused. Green would also like to do this on the House floor. One thing I will say about Marjorie Taylor Greene, despite the adjectives that have been used to describe her, despite some of the stances she takes on a myriad of topics, she is, like me, a pull-up queen. She will pull up and say what she has to say and take it push and keep it pushing. I actually saw Marjorie Taylor Greene in the airport last time I was there taking a flight, and I assumed, because oftentimes in Atlanta, a lot of guns here, so sometimes people will get flagged at the gate for like they forgot their gun in their bag. Excuse me, I probably shouldn't talk about that, but they forgot their tool in their bag, and they forgot their tool in there, and they get escorted out of the airport by the police. And I thought that was what was going on, because I saw Marjorie with her bodyguard walking through the airport, and I'm like, who are these people? And she's really short. She has a really, what's the word for this? Homely face, She looks like a girl next door type of person, honestly, there's a really popular film back in the day called Leprechaun, and kind of gives me like they could be cousins. You know what I mean? Yeah, but ultimately, I like the fact that she is outspoken. I like the fact that she doesn't have a problem with breaking with tradition. I don't want her to be the president necessarily, but that's not to be. You know what I mean? But yeah, the push for the release of the files comes after the Justice Department's released documents after online influencers were promised more information by Epstein by the DOJ. Bondi then took a step back from her promise, saying there was no so-called Epstein client list after she suggested the document was on her desk. This caused an uproar. So what that tells me, without having read through the rest of the article, is that people can tell the attorney general something and she will repeat it without having verified the information. Somebody told her that client list is on her desk. And then somebody actually looked at it and was like, there's no client list here. And then she had to, as they say, take a step back, retreat. It's unfortunate. Always confirm. I would say always confirm, information before you make that information public. But yeah. In September, the Epstein estate handed over a copy of his 50th birthday book that included letters from individuals he was associated with. Some of the letters included lewd information, and one allegedly had Trump's signature. However, the president denied ever signing the document. The explanation I've heard from some sources is that there are, at that time, the president-elect was looking to either president-elect or he was like a newly minted president. He was looking to raise money, and of course, he would have had hired people to help him with that. They would have, been able to create thank you cards to donors with Trump's signature on it. So the fact that the letter has a signature on it doesn't mean much. See what I'm saying? Like they have information about his association with Epstein, but I don't think they have a smoking gun, because if they did, then we'd be talking about that. And I don't really like the whole thing that we do in the media sometimes that is like pitting one side against the other for no real good reason other than like you like sort of like you suck, no you suck, no you suck, that type of thing. Like I don't like the way your shoes look. Well, I don't like the way your shoes look. It's counterproductive, childish as hell. Let's see what else we got out here. Huh. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about politics too much. I want to see what's going on in the local cycle. There we go. There we go. The local cycle. But I know this is Fox News, so they got to go for what they know. Let's see here. Yeah. This if you notice, like they will tell you that local news is on the docket here, and then you get there and local news is nowhere to be found. So, as an example, okay, all right. Well, let's see. Let's see. Middle Tennessee explosion, is that local? UT Chattanooga campus is clear after all. Okay. Yeah, none of this seems really local. All right, let's see. Maybe see this was pretty local. See, I can just tell by looking at this that I'm gonna get better local news here. Let's see. Let's see. Local news. Fingers crossed. Okay. By the South Carolina state line. I think Savannah is close to there. See? Yeah, this is local news. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. Well, dang. There's a fire. All right. So it looks like fire is an issue here in Chatham County. Let's take a look. All right, 2 Chatham County house fires, deaths within days. Here's how you can protect yourself and your family. So Georgia outpaces the national average when it comes to deaths from house fires. In the last few days, 2 people have died in house fires in Chatham County, one in Raven Street and another on Whitfield Avenue. While investigators work to
A truck weighs 20 times more than a typical car. At Fair & Farah, we have a whole department that handles the
WJCL 22 investigates teams took a look at the FEMA data. We found that Georgia ranks above the national average in structural fire deaths and injuries. In 2023, the national average for residential structural fire casualties was 5.8 deaths, 19.7 injuries per 1,000 fires. In Georgia, however, and this is what trips me out about Georgia with these crazy numbers and different statistics, STDs, fires, stuff like that. But they cannot wait to tell the federal government no to take some money to take care of it. And then we get the money and people start to buy new cars and stuff like that, and it gets kind of muddy in the water out there. But one fire fatality in the city is too many, as far as I'm concerned, said Fred Anderson, chief investigator with the Savannah Fire Arson Unit. Anderson said that many of the fires his teams investigates are preventable. Yeah. We have fires for misuse of extension cords or failure of an electrical system that is just because the maintenance hasn't been done to it. He said space heaters are a common culprit in cooler months. And then you know what? See, somebody else I listened to said something about this Southern man and how he is not a talker. He's not going to do a whole bunch of chit chatting with you all day long. You know, he's just going to say what needs to be said. And so let's take a look at his quote here. Look at the space heater you bought. Look at what it tells you to do, how to use it, and follow the directions. Again, and follow the directions, Anderson said. Keep it away from combustibles, blankets, things like that. They're more combustible than people might think. Timing matters too. That's why it's critical to have working fire smoke alarms. Hold on, let me say that again. Working fire alarms. Just making sure this thing's on. Working fire alarms. Yo, I cannot stand it when I am talking to somebody and the whole time I'm talking to them, in the background, I'm hearing that dang hood cricket, as I've heard somebody mention it. You guys know what a hood cricket is? Anybody here know what a hood cricket is? You know what? I'm gonna actually reach out to some of my people out here in these internet streets. See if they can tell me what a hood cricket is. The hood cricket is insane. All right. But yeah, man. You gotta get those done, man. You gotta get those done. And if you don't, then you might be in the same situation these folks are in. It's sad as hell, man. Like, people don't have to pass about about yeah, man. So yeah, I see StreamYard does the trickery with the description. Go ahead and switch that up for you, buddy. Yeah, man. So there's that. And don't forget, this is a show sponsored by the Mance Law Firm. Of course, they don't agree with everything we say, but we do talk about them a lot. All right. But yeah, man. So the fire arson unit is not with it. By the way, if you live in the city of Savannah and need a smoke alarm, Savannah Fire can help provide and install one. All right. So, and that's pretty much typical across the United States. If you have your hood cricket jumping and screaming all day long, and somebody tells you about it, you're one of those few people who says, okay, let me get up and get my ass up and do something about it. Yeah. You too can go to the fire department in Marietta, in Ackworth, in Clayco, in Savannah, and Macon. Go get that free.
We are JTV. We believe jewelry isn't just worn. It's
Go get that free fire alarm, man. Stop making people listen to all that beeping and shit, stuff in the background, please. All right. Oh wow. Well, that was 10 months ago. It's a year ago. Okay, no, this is new and really local. Matter of fact, I think I just closed the window that actually had the local news. This is another local news show. I think local news channel. Sorry, not channel, but news station. Let's see what we got. I mean, who really cares about everything else? Let's talk about the crime. Let's talk about the crime. All right. Let's see here. All right. Whoa. Man. Oh man, that sucks. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Wow. Oh dang. People calling out, they're gonna shoot people. Okay. But yeah, man, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. All right, where should we start? Oh, that's right. Let me see if I can get my folks online. Let's see. You know, Instagram changed their format here. And I'm having some, I won't say I'm having trouble, but pretty crazy how these things work. You know what? I think I'm actually gonna go live on Instagram and see if I have any more luck there. But yeah, I got a goal of streaming for about an hour every day. So Schoolboy 1867 is the Instagram for now. Jump on there and we might come back over here later. All right, see ya.